DMX album tonight, midnight. I might go live and play the whole joint before midnight.
Hope is the living, Coca-Cola's the sponsor. I run up with your boot. Hope is a monster. Yeah, they like me like that. Every girl
Midnight, DMX, midnight. We in here, it's the day.
It's the Lasagna.
It's the day, you know, DMX album, midnight. We got the queen. She chunky on the chest.
Thanks to you, Swiss. Thanks to my big brother, Swiss. And the good people's right here. Bless up.
Boy, what story?
Let me tell the story.
Let me tell you what. Tell the story.
Let me tell the story.
Now the story's fucking crazy. So
check it out. Check it out.
All right, tell it.
So,
just let me tell it. Let me tell it. Conway walked in here with all types of shit on his neck.
He going crazy.
He lit the whole room up, and Mary said,
I always wanted a chain that thick. Right?
And then Swiss said, hold on. Then he went over to Conway, and then he came back, and he put the chain on Mary's neck.
And I started screaming and crying, and the rest is history.
No.
What am I do? What am I do now?
No, but this is the queen. When the queen, this is Mary.
100%.
She saved 100%. So many queens' lives with her artistry and her music. If Mary asks for something,
you take the chain off the man's neck.
You better do it ASAP. Okay? And for all you young bucks coming up, it's called paying respect.
100%.
We better know.
And the beautiful thing about it,
Don Poole got something to say.
That's one of the realest things I've
That's
ever
what I
seen.
said too.
But I want to let you know right now, that's one of the really things I've ever seen.
Thank you.
Swiss.
Wait.
Only
Swiss
Swiss would do the realest.
Flyer shit is that Swiss, he didn't think about it. It was the quickness with which he responded to the request.
But Conway didn't think about it. It wasn't a stick up. It was love. You know what I'm saying? It was love.
What did he say to you though?
Say your thought. Nah, man. We had a
2 minutes
discussion.
later.
He said, Mary want that. I said, Mary about to have that.
That's an action. That's an action faction. That's an action faction.
2 minutes later, Swiss is running over, putting it on my neck. I'm like,
nah, this is Mary. Like
I may borrow that though. I may borrow that one.
You got like Mary.
you want to borrow, it's all
First
of
of all, you got Mary and Angie. This is the dream team. What they brought to our culture and how they empowered women with their talent. We not seeing this again. We better respect this now and understand this now. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a great moment. And my sisters came in here to hear the X album. How we looking like on that tonight? You know what I'm saying?
like we looking at midnight.
We're looking like midnight.
Huh?
We looking good. We looking good.
Like
Is it a classic?
It's a classic.
Great job.
Is it a classic, Mary?
Congratulations. Classic.
Conway
is so
what
fire.
Conway did on that album.
I couldn't stop dancing. I know you got me dancing on the videos.
Yeah,
and
they got
shit,
you going
Swiss.
crazy.
I know you see me on the video.
Hey!
Shout out to Kim.
Hey!
Love your mama forever.
Kim for life zone.
Word.
It was so good. My favorite thing you said when you went and took the chain. You said you didn't take the chain in a respectful way. You asked for the chain. Gave the chain, right? Gave the chain. But you said we have to love on our people right now. There's no reason to wait. So right now, so Mary wanted it. He said she got to get it right now, and it's true. We gotta take the moment.
Thank you for the love.
Oh, I love that.
Thank you for
that.
the love,
It's one of the
Swiss.
fly
We
shit.
love you.
I seen you do a lot of fly shit. I seen you do a lot of fly shit. That was
This album is love. It's just everything that this man is and was and will always be forever. Y'all gonna cry. Y'all gonna be dancing so hard. It's really about crying and dancing hard and
Talking
listening
about that
and
Exodus
thinking.
album.
This album is fire.
Thank you guys for coming, man.
Bono
You guys
joint
are
too.
crazy.
Bono joint is crazy.
That Bono
Yeah, Bono joint
Catano.
is fire.
Yeah, you got Bono on this shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Where'd you find him?
Bono Catano, huh? Bono, where you at?
Bono sound like who the fuck is that?
Yeah, Bono Catano. It's Bono
shit.
Catano. You know what I'm saying? X album. Midnight, New York, midnight. What time is it? Who got the time? Who got the time? It's 9:08. This is mine. This is my phone. 9:08.
I'm doing good.
9:08.
Son got a season. We
Let
doing
me see
great.
it. Let me see it. Let me see it.
So, wait, hold on. Look,
Everybody
show
better.
him the thing. Show him the thing. Show him the. Listen.
Za. This the new Za. This the new Za.
Show the
Oh, Mary came through with the Brankatuske.
I'm a soldier.
You see the Brankatuske? The Brankatuske. You see the Brankatuske on 2000 Tuske, huh? The Brankatuske for Mary J. Buske, huh? Taka. You know what I mean? Come on. We in the zone. We love everybody. Tonight, midnight. Let's go. Big numbers. Bless up. Let's run the numbers up, huh? Run the numbers up. Za. And what time is it? What time is it? It's 9:10. I'm going live. I'm going live to play the album in 40 minutes. Jesus.
Running it down on these niggas. Sex, drugs, money, and murder, my nigga. You know how we did it, my nigga. Still be painting them bitches, my nigga. Ripping that raw and fucking your bitches. Sex, drugs, money, and murder. 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 Niggas, they never will hurt you. Niggas, they never will hurt you. Sex, drugs, money, and murder. Sex, drugs, money, and murder.
Got the traps right. Understand how to get that. Ran down on them niggas with a flip back. New and
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Bulletz Gotti. You know what I'm saying? I had to wake up and I said, yo, I wake up this morning and I'm doing this video because I want to review DMX Exodus album. I bumped the album like 100 times yesterday, non-stop. I bumped it. I first started bumping it 12 a.m. yesterday, and I bumped it all through Friday and this morning when I woke up. I played the whole album all through. I'm going to say this about this album. Solid album. When DMX was talking about the album on Drink Champs, when he said how great the album is, the features that he had on the album, how many features he had on the album, when he basically broke the album down, I was really going to see how it was going to work. And to be honest, the album was solid. It's pretty solid. The breakdown, all the joints on there. The first record on the album, if you haven't listened to it, the first record on the album is That's My Dog. It Over With the Locks. You know, and got that gritty, Rough Rider sound, street, head knocker, straight for the wit, summertime type of music. Got A-Rab music on the beat with Swiss. Jada got the opening verse. X bodied it at the end. I had to say, one of his great record. If you haven't heard that record, that's one of my favorites off the album. That's My Dog. That's My Dog has to be one of my favorites on the album. I got like 4 favorite tracks on this album. Or I would say 5, but I'll say I got 4. Oh yeah, I could say 5 because there's a couple I liked it on this album. And then you got Bath Salt, which is crazy. Now this record right here, to be honest, right, this record is a record that was done 2012. Swiss premiered this record 2015 when he battled Just Blaze, and we didn't hear no more about this record. A lot of people was asking about this record. A lot of people wanted to know about this record. Jadakiss is originally on this record. That's what a lot of people don't know. He's originally on this record. And I was kind of mad that they took Jada off the record because I really wanted to hear Jada's verse, because Jada had a crazier verse, and Nas's verse was more longer than the verse he got that he had on this record, because he had a longer verse on the original, and they shortened his verse. But what I will say, my nigga Escobar took the crown. He dumped on that whole record. I'm sorry to tell you, Nas body bag, he zipped it up. X went in. Don't get me wrong, X went in. X was talking that shit. Don't get me wrong. X was, in my opinion, X was dumping. And it be honest, in DMX fashion, the way he went in on that record was crazy. His delivery, at the end was crazy. It was, you know, X fashion. You know how he ends the record. Great record. Great record. Bad Soul was definitely a great record. Nas, just as Nas, man. You know, he's the king. You know, Jay verse was could have been better. It was cool. It could have been better though. But Nas took the cake and toe tag shit. I ain't gonna lie. Like his delivery, how he opened it up, it was wicked. It's wicked. But that one was a good one. That's one of my favorites off the album. That's my dog. Bad Salt is my two favorites. You know, in the beginning of the album, they were my two favorites. Now you got Dogs Out, which is hard too. I like the joint with him and Lil Wayne. Joint with him and Lil Wayne is hard. Like, Lil Wayne came with his A game. I'm not going to front. You know what I'm saying? I give Lil Wayne his credit. Lil Wayne go with his A game, he come with his A game. Dope record. Dope record. Dope record. X body bagged it again. I'm not going to say X just went crazy. Went crazy on that record. That record, he went crazy on the album. And you could tell, like when you listen to like the album, you could tell that X knew the dudes that he wanted on his album. And you could tell that all these records he did recently. Because a lot of the joints, it's like you could tell like he done them like either last year or he did it in 2019. But a lot of them you could tell he did like last year. But it was, in my opinion, it was great. Subpar. It was definitely, you know, I could see the direction X was going on this album. And the direction he was going was perfect. You know what I'm saying? It was perfect. Just for this album, it was perfect. Now, like I said, the Dog Out record, fire, the beat is crazy. X went in like he always do. Now you got the Money, Money, Money record. Money record is hard. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people saying, yo, where Pop Smoke was at, how you gonna put Moneybagg Yo? Well, Swiss said, which I already knew they had used the verse, because I heard the snippet of Pop Smoke verse on there, but they used Pop's verse on another record, so they couldn't use it for this joint with Moneybagg Yo. And like Swiss was saying, they wanted to fight for it. The state didn't clear it up, and basically they wasn't able, because he snatched another Pop Smoke verse, but the state didn't clear it up, so they took too long to clear it. So he got Moneybagg Yo on there. Moneybagg Yo did his thing. Shout out to Moneybagg Yo. Moneybagg Yo be killer shit. I like Moneybagg Yo. Don't get me wrong, Moneybagg Yo, in my opinion, is top 3 from the South right now. That's who I bump. I bump Moneybagg Yo, Money Man, Roddy Ricch, Lil Baby. Those like the 4 I bump. Like right now, I bump them. And Pooh Shiesty is number 5, because I like Pooh Shiesty. And, you know, I bump Dirt. So, Moneybagg Yo right now, when you talk about young niggas that's really doing this thing in the game, that was definitely, X had to get a Moneybagg Yo. If he couldn't get the Pop Smoke, the next one was Moneybagg Yo or either Lil Baby. So shout out to Moneybagg Yo. And X went in on that record too. You know, Money. He went in on that record. I like that record. That's another record. That's one of my favorites on there. I'm not going front. Money record is hard. That record go hard. Now you got that Hold Me Down record. Now, I'm going to say this about the Hold Me Down record. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you look, the 4 records that I just named, that's my dog, Bad Salt, Dogs Out, Money. These are the up-tempo records. Now, you got the somber, not emotion, I would say the emotion, you know, pain-driven records like Hold Me Down, which is hard, with him and Alicia Keys. I like that record. It's a deep record. Has a feeling to it. He talks a lot about life. It's a very spiritual record if you really listen to it, and it's a real record. It's one of my favorites. I kind of like that Hold Me Down record. I like that record a lot. It's one of my favorites. Now, I'm going to be honest. Another record that goes hard on this album that is my favorite right now also is the Skyscraper record with Bono. Huge U2 fan. Love Bono. And you never hear Bono, let's keep it real, you never hear Bono on that many people's albums. When X was talking about this Bono feature, like on Drink Champs, like Nori and them was like shocked to hear Bono was on the album. I was kind of shocked, but I had heard that him and Bono was collaborating, but I didn't know that they really was going to collaborate the way they did on this album. And this was like a dream feature. This was a great feature. And that's one of my favorite, that's my other favorite record off this album is that Bono collaboration. I really like that record. That record right there, in my opinion, is a good record. That's a number one. I'm going to keep it real. If Swiss and them push that record right, yo, that record right there is a number one single. Number one hit single. That record with Bono is a number one hit single. If they push that record right, that's a hit single right there off that album. Straight up and down. That record, Hold Me Down, Bad Soul, oh man, what's the other one? Money, 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 hit single type of records. Those right there. But that Skyscraper, it got that bounce. It got that, it's a thoughtful record, it's a spiritual lifting record, and it's a record that you can understand and you listen to it. It got a lot to it. That's how you know that the direction that X was going with this album is different from the directions that he was going with his other albums. This direction of this album had a lot of real good content and realism. Now, another good record. Now, you had the skits on there, right? You had to, always, a DMX album, you gotta have the skits. So you had the skits, the Exodus skit. You had, Ice Pick J. You had the skit with Ice Pick J and Cross and Infrared. Who that was a dope thing to put in there. R.I.P. Ice Pick J. Definitely had Infrared and Cross on there. You know what I'm saying? That was a good look to have, the dudes that, was with X from the beginning and had them in the album was good. You know what I'm saying? To even have the locks in there, and then you have more of the Double R family on the album, even in the skit. That was a good look. Now I'm going to go even more better now. Now you got the records like Take Control. That right there is what I call the how it's going down, what these bitches wants from a nigga. Those two, that Dog Love, them joints that X got for the chicks, or for like that straight pippin', talking that shit, you don't gotta go home. But, the Monica joint that he had on Grand Champ, like that record right there, I'm gonna keep it real. Take Control with him and Snoop is hard. I love that record, man. I love that record. I had to play that record. Yo, I played that record between Skyscraper, Bad Soul, the Money Money joint, That's My Dog, Take Control, Walking in the Rain. Those were those records right there was the most records I was rewinding back. Them records right there, in my opinion, is what you call not just only that ghetto gospel, but it's that real good music. You know what I'm saying? And for X to come back, right? And to come back to Def Jam and to come back on top, This album right here, I'm going to be honest with you. If he never would pass, yo, I could see the vision for every video on this album, cause I could tell that he was preparing to do a good tour, good world tour, and he's preparing to have some fire ass music videos. Cause these records right here that you hear on this album was music video hit, like Skyscraper. I'm talking about Take Control, Bath Salt, Walking in the Rain. I'm talking about Money, 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 like Skyscraper. Like these joints is like music video ready. That's how hard and good the records is. Now, Take Control, got that Marvin Gaye sample. You know what I'm saying? I like that. It's sexual healing. Like that, it's crazy. Like the way they way Swiss loop that. I need your loving. I need your loving. Yo, that shit is bananas. Like that right there, the way the loop on that, when he brought that back, he said, I need your loving. I need your loving. Like, crazy. The loop on that was crazy. You know what I'm saying? It was hard. Now, the Hood Blues was a good it was a good song. But my only problem with that was that beat was used too many times. You know what I'm saying? But Griselda went in. I like the collaboration with Conway, Benny, X, Westside Gun. Dope collaboration. The bar structure. X went in. I like the video that they did where you see him in the studio recording the joint. So it was hard. It was hard. I like that. I like how they did that. That was a dope video and a dope record. Now, two of the best records off this, like two, in my opinion, the best records off this album. That give you that feel, cause you got the prayer. Shout out to Kanye for that prayer. You know, he produced the last, you know, track on the album, which is Prayer, where DMX is praying on the end. Kanye West produced that, that was dope that they did that. They put the prayer in there. But Walking in the Rain, yo, that record right there is my favorite. That's my favorite record. X, that's X, Nas, and when I tell you, yo, X went in, but the shit that Nas said, he said an Ava DuVernay flick, starring Denzel playing Nas with CGI. I'm like, oh, this nigga Nas is crazy. That nigga said an Ava DuVernay flick and Denzel playing Nas in CGI. I'm like, oh, this nigga is crazy with the balls, man. I'm like, oh, okay. I see where Nas going with this. This joint was hard. Yeah, that Walking in the Rain joint was hard. I'm gonna say this, man. Shout out to Nas for being on the album twice. He's on the album twice, Bad Soul and Walking in the Rain. And those two records right there, Nas went in. I think Nas is back in album mode. Like, King's Disease went crazy. You know, these couple records like Sorry Not Sorry, he went crazy on. And then EPMD, he went crazy on. It's like Nas gearing up for something crazy, because these verses I'm hearing from Nas, man, it's like, this nigga's the greatest of all time, man. Niggas better stop sleeping on Escobar, man. You been told y'all niggas in 94 he was the greatest of all time, but like almost pushing, he almost pushing 50. And Nas is still killing these young niggas with the balls, man. Like, shout out to Nas, man. That was that Walking in the Rain record. It's one of my favorites on there, man. I like that record. Another deep record. Another deep meaningful record. It got a nice sound to it. It's really it's like one of those records that get to your soul. So I really love that Walking in the Rain record. Now, this record right here is one of the deepest records on the whole album. One of my favorites. And it's a deep record. And I love the record so much that I played the record 10 times yesterday. Letter to My Son was the deepest records over there. That's a tearjerker. Like if you listen to that record, it's a tearjerker. Because if you listen to it and you really understand the record and understand the meaning of the record, where X is actually talking to his oldest son and he telling him about, you know, how he went through drug addiction, how he wishes the relationship, you know, that he wants to patch the relationship up. He talks about, you know, him still loving his ex-wife, but, you know, for the best of them, they had to grow apart. You know what I'm saying? Where he talked about the love growing apart with his ex-wife. He talks so much about a lot of things. And X said this was one of his favorite songs, The Letter to My Son. And you could tell by when he was rapping, his verses, like he was crying, you know, each time he was spitting the ball, you could tell the pain was coming from him. You could tell that he was really emotional while he was writing that whole song. It's a tearjerker. It's really a tearjerker. And it's a good record. And I think that, you know, I like how you got Usher comes in and Usher just sings the whole song. And the way he sings that hook, and then you hear the violin. Shout out to Brian Joseph with the violin bridge, which is dope. I mean, the record, in my opinion, is the most emotional record on that album. I got a couple tearjerkers on the album, but that song right there was a tearjerker. Like if you sit there, you listen to that Walking in the Rain, that's a deep record, and it got a somber feeling to it. And it's like, you could tell that he was cleansing his spirit and cleansing his soul. Like you could tell that, like when he started rapping, you tell like he got everything off his chest with that record. So, Letter to My Son was a good record. Now, to the people that have a problem with DMX album, that listen to it one time and saying the album is trash, saying they ain't like it, or I ain't care for it and all that, that just shows you that y'all niggas really wasn't DMX fans from the beginning. If you listen to the album, it's just like when I hear people talk about, yo, but you know, King's Disease don't sound like, you know, classic Nas, and Nas need to get back with Primo and all this, right? Listen, X was 50 years old. This album, he even said it out his way. It's just like when Pac said that All Eyes on Me was a celebration album. He meant that. It was a celebration album. When you listen to this album was a celebration to X's life. It was him going through a different journey. It was him getting a whole new start on life musically. And when you listen to the album, it's a growth album. See, when people look at DMX, they think of Dark as Hell is Hot. They think it's Flesh in My Flesh. They think of, you know, Then There Was X. They think of Great Depression. They think of, you know, Grand Champ. They think of the Year of the Dog. They think of albums like that, right? They think of albums like that where DMX was DMX. But when you really look at it, you got to understand, DMX was in his 20s, 30s when he was doing those albums. He was in a different space when doing those albums. And the space that X is in now was legendary status. when I saw X talking about this album on Drink Champs, you could tell the happiness that he had doing this album. You could tell that he was in a space that he wanted to collab with artists that he was particularly fans of. So when he talked about the Bono collaboration, he was happy about the Bono collaboration, the Alicia Keys, the Usher collaboration. He said Letter to My Son was his favorite record off the album. He was happy about the Pop Smoke collaboration. But because the verses was used, they put Moneybagg Yo on it. He was happy about, you know, the Nas joints. You know, it was a lot of joints on here. He was happy. And these songs, you got to remember, this whole album was done already. This was finished. When he did this album, a lot of these songs I already knew about. You know what I'm saying? But these songs was already done. You know what I'm saying? He was happy about the Lil Wayne and Snoop Dogg record. You know, the Griselda joint. A lot of these level people don't understand. This album was already done before he passed. You know what I'm saying? And really and truly, he was trying to get in shape. So he was ready for tour. He was getting ready to do a tour. He was getting ready to shoot videos for this. He was getting in shape, getting ready to shoot videos for these records. So a lot of these records that people was talking about, listen, man, y'all dudes is coming from a garbage ass opinion, and y'all niggas is tripping, and there's a lot of hate with y'all niggas. Because as hip hop fans, we don't like to see a different direction from an artist. You know what I'm saying? Why would a man at 50 years old be rapping like how he was rapping when he first came out? It's like when niggas talk about, oh, Nas need to get back to Illmatic Nas. Why would Nas get back to Illmatic Nas when he's in a different space? Nas told niggas on Stillmatic, it's only dough that I'm moving. You know what I'm saying? He been told niggas in Stillmatic what it was. So when people talk about he need to get back to this, no, man. Nas is doing right just like X did right with this album. This album right here was a growth album. This album right here was a man clearing his sins and cleansing himself and knew this was the last. If you really listen to the album, you could tell like this album was like his journey. It was like the rise, the falls, and the overcome, the triumph of the trials and tribulations. And when you listen to this album, this was a celebratory album. Now, Swiss was saying another album was supposed to come. This was supposed to be Darkest Hell is Hot again. It's supposed to be the sequel. But because he passed, this was Exodus. Now, I'm going to keep it real with you. This album right here, in my opinion, is by far the best post album I heard in a long time. A lot of post albums, not all of them, because Machiavelli was a post album. You know, Yeah Baby was a great album. Life After Death was a post album also. You know what I'm saying? You know, even Pop Smoke album wasn't that bad. But a lot of people had their critics about it, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't horrible. But this album right here was one of these albums that you gotta sit there, you gotta let it marinate in your mind, and you gotta sit there and listen to it like how I listen to it. I listened to the album at least 100 times yesterday and today, combined today and when it first dropped. So by listening to the album, you know, throughout the days, throughout from the morning to the afternoon to the evening to the night, I listened to the album all the way through. And I woke up this morning and played it all the way through. And when you thoroughly listen to the album is not a bad album. It's a solid, good album. It's a solid, good album. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it was the ranking system for the Source, I give it 5.5 mics. Real talk. 5.5 mics. It was a solid, good album. You know what I'm saying? Solid, good album. A lot of people just got to put their biases. It's a lot of biasness towards the album, which I don't understand, because if you really listen to the album, you could tell that X was in a different space. Yeah, he had them hard records, he had them club banger records. You know what I'm saying? Like, X never been a dude that went for like hit singles. So when you listen to this album, he wasn't trying to go for like hit singles, but he went for records that were radio friendly. Like, if you listen to Skyscraper, that's a radio friendly record. Take Control. It's a radio friendly record. It's records on there like Money, Money, Money. It's a radio record. It's a radio friendly club banging record. So it's records on there that you could just tell like, oh, X was going to a different direction if you open minded and you listen to music. You know what I'm saying? This was, in my opinion, this was the greatest body of work I heard in a long time from DMX. And this right here was a different space. And I appreciate that he did this album. And it's just kind of messed up that, you know, that he's not here and to see him perform a lot of these cuts. But the album was good, man. The album was a solid album. The album was a solid album. And I think a lot of people, if they go back and listen to the album, they would understand that the direction that X was really going in with this album. You know, and production-wise, Swiss did what he did. He did his thing with him, man. You know what I'm saying? The beats